Alrighty, Angie Jackson, welcome to Paddlecast.
Thank you.
And we're here in the cave. This is your home gym.
Pretty much where I live every afternoon after work.
I'm pretty impressed with this place. I spent a lot of evenings in here.
Yep.
Not enough lately, but we've had a lot of fun in here working out.
Yep.
And I'm actually impressed you're even working out, let alone paddling. You're still at your foot in a funky looking sock. What's going on?
Well, had my second operation 10 weeks ago, so for my Achilles lengthening surgery, and it's going good.
So it's been almost 12 months to the day.
Pretty much.
Japan Cup 2018.
Yeah, September.
Like mid-September.
Second weekend in September last year.
So 11 and a half months.
It's been a fucking long time. Yeah, I didn't really understand at the time what I'd done, and I just assumed 6 weeks or 3 months later I'd be 100% and back to running and doing everything, but that certainly has not been the case.
Yeah, right.
So it's been a process for sure.
So you've had 2 surgeries?
I've had 2 surgeries, yeah. So the first one, which I did, which was Japan Cup, I basically pulled the Achilles tendon off my calcaneal heel bone, so I actually pulled it so hard off, I pulled some heel bone with it at the same time. So it was a pretty shitty injury. To be honest, I'd much rather a broken foot, 6 weeks in a cast and you're into recovery after that. But with what I did, I not only had bone, but I also shredded the tendon at the end, and they cut it open. There's no option but to have surgery, otherwise you never have an Achilles tendon again attached to your heel. So they cut it open and then 4 screws back into the heel bone, and then set you at 30 degrees down for 3 months, and then slowly raise you up over time. And so
how much longer?
Well, I'm paddling again now, and I can do most of my gym stuff. I only just started doing some deadlifts and stuff the other day. You were here. I was doing my first ones.
I was impressed.
I was pretty nervous.
I was waiting for the snap.
It feels good. It's just the actual Achilles tendon this time around feels really good.
Yeah.
It's just a flow-on effect of other things that happen around it with scar tissue, and I've developed a bursa on my inside heel bone now, which is restricting me from moving my foot up and down.
Yeah.
It's just the little things that come with it. But I'm hoping, I go back to my surgeon in next week actually, so I'm hoping that's the last time I ever have to go see him again. As much as a nice guy he is, I don't really want to see him ever again.
How have you been so zen-like patient in the past year? Because most people would go insane. You're someone that paddled almost literally every day for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And suddenly you haven't been able to compete for a year.
Yeah.
You've only been doing basic paddling.
Someone just rips a rug from underneath you and says, no, you got to sit on your ass for a solid 3 months, and then, you can't really do much and for the next 6 months, and maybe you can try and run again in 8 months or whatever. And I didn't really understand at the time how bad it was going to be, but you just learn to be zen-like. You've got no other choice. You've got no other choice. You just got to go with the flow and just listen to what they tell you to do, and and just you really need a good crew of people around you for sure. For the first 3 months, I couldn't carry my dinner. I couldn't I was no weight bearing for so long. It's really frustrating, you know. Yeah. But
so Jacko was your little bitch for a few months?
Jacko was my bitch. He's still my bitch.
Yeah, always. Well, I've been impressed with your attitude and your spirit. You say you have to be zen-like, but I'm sure a lot of people don't get to that state. I'm sure a lot of people just literally go insane if they can't do what they love for a year. Because how long have you been doing this? You've been paddling, definitely longer than me, because you taught me how to paddle. You and Jacko, I joined your training group
Wow, yeah, I've been...
9 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that was the training group, so I was paddling before that. I remember my first board, I took it down on my own. Actually, well, Jacko got it. It was like a big old 11'6" Nash. It fucking weighed a ton. Massive alloy fixed paddle, which is just fixed at this huge, like, bohemian length person, and I'm so short. And I was like, yeah, I'll take this down and go paddle around at the alley. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Went out and caught some waves and didn't really...
You know what year that would have been?
Oh, man. You know, I was still kiting back then too. It would have to have been about 15, 16 years ago, I reckon. Yeah.
Because you guys were some of the first paddlers around here, which would make you some of the first paddlers in Australia, because this is kind of the mecca of paddling in Australia.
I mean, there were people paddling back then. You just didn't really...
It wasn't a thing?
No, it wasn't a thing, you know. James Billy Watson and Mick DeBetta was paddling back then, and there was a few people around paddling, but you know, you were always on your own paddling because there was never any groups or anything like that. I'd just take the big old Nash down and go cut, you know, 3 or 4 Ks in the creek on it, and I'd be like, oh, that was sick.
Do you remember what your first race was?
Oh, now you're testing me. Jeez.
Is it one of those ocean races from Snapper?
You know, no, I don't think it was. Jeez, now you're testing me.
And what did you paddle? Because did you even have race boards back then?
Yeah. I remember my first race. Actually, I didn't actually race for quite a while. I sort of was always around, but I didn't actually race. My first race was the one that Trevor Hendy organised.
Oh, yeah?
And it was a 30k race from Brunswick Heads to Casuarina, just on the New South Wales coast,
In the ocean.
And it was, I shit you not, we were on, it was fucking like 10 foot. I remember it so much because...
The surf or the board?
The surf. And I remember looking out at Brunswick, and we had Nash, 14 foot, you know, the shoe.
Oh, yeah.
You still got one.
The old Big Bertha.
Yeah, you still got one.
The original glide.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it still goes a treat.
Yeah. And
I did the 12,000 on it this year.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
It's like a decade old.
They're still around.
Yeah.
I remember looking out Brunswick Bar, and there were jet skis there helping people get out, and there was like prone paddlers and stand-up paddlers and stuff like that. There was heaps of people, I remember. And I remember looking at Jacko going, I can't get out there on this board, like, no chance. And he's like, yeah, you'll be right. And then someone came in on the ski, and I was hanging onto the back of the board as we were going over like 8 foot, 10 foot sets, and just going, far out, I've got to get in at Casuarina yet. That was the first thing I was thinking about.
Jeez.
But
you survived?
I survived.
The board
got in. Actually, I let go of the board as soon as I knew how heavy and big it was. As soon as I took one on the head coming in at Casuarina, it was like 8 foot, and I was like, I'm letting this thing go. Otherwise, I'm going to get skull drag drowned in a minute.
Wow. So you jumped in the deep end for your first race, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was my first race, and that was fun. And I was hooked after that because it was like 15, 20 knots.
So it's downwind.
Downwind, southerly.
With massive swell.
With massive swell, and I was like, yeah, this is the schneers. I like this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
And when did you and Jacko, your husband, Paul Jackson, you guys have been travelling and racing since I can remember. Do you remember what your first international race was?
Battle of the Paddle was my first one. It was...
2010? 2009?
Geez, Who
won it?
Oh, geez.
Danny or Jamie?
I can't remember. Jamie.
Okay, it was 2009, Jamie won.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the second one. The first one where you could just openly enter.
Yeah.
So you're basically there from the beginning.
Yeah.
2009, that's actually almost to the day 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think like in a month or so, that'll be the 10th anniversary
I think
of that
I
race.
raced like one of the first sort of fat-nosed SIC boards.
Yeah?
Really old SIC
Really?
boards. Yeah, you know, with the big bulbous nose.
Back when it was just SIC.
Yeah.
Back when Mark had it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on one of those.
That's OG.
Yeah. Yep, it was.
Do you remember how you went?
Nah, I got no idea.
I think that was the year Shaq won.
Yeah, I think I came like 10th or 11th or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just stoked to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And then one of your, I remember one of your early international races, jumping forward a couple of years, was the 11 City Tour. Fond memories?
Oh,
Because I want to talk about that because we got a very special. Actually, I don't know when this is going to get released. We might have already announced what's happening.
Yeah.
But we can just talk about it.
Yeah.
Very, very special thing happening with one and SUP Racer. This year's 11
is.
cities. We'll get into that in a moment. But my first memory of the 11 cities, it would have probably been 2011, a few months before SUP Racer even started.
Yep.
I was just training with you guys, and you all went off to Holland for the SUP 11 City Tour.
Yep.
And I thought, this is the most batshit crazy thing I've ever heard of, but it sounds amazing.
Yep.
And you guys just got destroyed by the weather.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah, there was 4 of us, 4 local. Jake Jensen, me, Jacko, and Simone Horsfield.
How old was Jakey?
Jake was 16. We were like
Little
his
boy.
chaperone parents to take him around the world.
And he got hypothermia, didn't he? Have to retire one day?
Third day, I think. Yeah. I remember finishing on the 3rd day. That was the only day I actually came in first.
Yeah.
3rd day or 2nd day it was. Yeah, I think it was the 3rd day. And I had like 5 missed calls from his mum.
Because his tracker had stopped or something?
Yeah, and then he was going 60 kilometres an hour. And she's like, and I thought, I better ring. And she's like, what's happened to Jake? I said, oh, he's not here. I said, I'll find out what's going on. Yeah, and Jake got hypothermia and pulled out at lunchtime because he was purple. That was it. That whole week, that 5 days was, I mean, I've raced a lot and done a lot of racing, but I still look at that particular 11 cities that I did and went, that was crazy. It was so cold, so windy, so rainy. Oh, it was out of control.
The people, I've been back 5 years, the past 5 or 6 years, and every year people talk about that year. They're like, well, there's a bit of rain, but it's not like 2011.
And
that was
back
the infamous year.
We were doing it on like what we thought were really, the schneez fast boards. Like we had these new Fanatic, like super displacement nose boards, but they were like 27 and a quarter wide, but that was like skinny back then.
Yeah.
I do think every now and then, like especially with what the boards are now, like I would actually go back and do it now, just enjoy it a little bit more, not, still be competitive, but enjoy it and just enjoy it on a good board.
Yeah. Yeah, the boards have gotten, there's been a lot of improvement since 2011. I mean, we all thought I remember when I got into the sport with you guys and people paddling 27s, it was considered, that was like cutting edge. And then some 25s came out and everyone's like, well, where's the sport going? 25? That's crazy. And then like I don't know which was the first board, but something came out in a 23. Maybe it was the sprint. And everyone was like, all right, that's it. Like we've reached the end. Like it can't possibly get any narrower. This is it.
Yeah.
And now everyone's paddling around on 21s.
And stable 21s.
And it's probably more stable than the 27s. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it just comes down, I mean, I guess people say all the time, oh, the sport's dying and blah, blah, blah. I completely disagree with that. I think the sport is alive and well, and you've only got to see the board that we're coming out with shortly and to see that, it's going to be a game changer.
It's definitely, like we said, innovation is not dead. I posted that, what was it, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
I think it's the number 1 or number 2 most liked Instagram photo I've posted all year.
Yeah, wow.
It went crazy. It's got the most comments. The story is one of the most read stories.
Yeah.
As soon as I posted it, I was looking at the analytics. It was just
and it doesn't surprise me because it doesn't surprise me at all because people are looking for innovation and something different. Oops, there goes my phone. We'll just ignore that. It's okay. It'll be it's international, but it'll be a telemarker.
Alright, we'll just listen to some tunes for a bit. So, you were with Nash as well, weren't you?
I was with Nash because right at the start, because I was with Nash for kiteboarding. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when did you start kiteboarding?
Kiteboarding, I was kiting for
That.
probably, I don't know, kited for about 10, 12 years, I guess. I was pretty young when I started kiteboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But stand-up just took over for me. I guess, I mean, kiteboarding to me was really fun towards the end, just in bigger surf and good swell, and didn't want to really do tricks anymore and stuff because that shit hurts, and
Yeah.
got sick and tired of mowing the grass, and yeah, for me paddleboarding just took over.
So you've been doing this more than 10 years. You started off, you were paddling for Nash for a while. I remember there was a big deal. You guys joined, you and Jacko joined Fanatic.
Yeah.
You were with them for quite some time.
Yeah, we were with them for 6 years. Yeah, so quite
Yeah.
a long time. We had a really good relationship and still do have a really good relationship with all the guys at Fanatic. So
Yeah.
we just, I guess, wanted to look long term to our future and just, you know, not be a rider and, you know,
Yeah.
you can't do that forever. It's
No.
not sustainable and the money runs out eventually, and we wanted to build something for ourselves, so
Yeah.
hence one.
Well, you built something pretty impressive. I'm looking in the mirror there. One of them's behind us. One of the ones. How long have you been? What's it been? 3 years now?
3 years full production worldwide, but it's probably been about 5 years since the first original board that we made and came out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a process. We pretty much poured everything into it that we had,
Yeah.
and prayed that it was going to work.
Yeah. No, you've definitely
So-
had some. I mean, you've got a very good reputation for the boards now, and it's quite impressive that what a very small operation can do in terms of competing with the Starboards and the NSPs and
Yeah.
the SICs of the world, who have either deep pockets or big parent companies or both.
Yep.
But you guys are you're kind of killing it with the design. I mean, you've got you and Jacko work with Benny.
Yeah, Benny's
Benny
legend.
Tadru.
Yeah.
And you've come out with some pretty cool shapes, and definitely the most eye-catching is the new Edge Pro 2.0,
Yeah.
the rocket ship. What was the idea behind that?
Oh, wow.
Just make a fast board?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, that's one good thing we have, is, you know, we just want to make fast boards and good boards, and Benny thrives on it, like,
Yeah.
and we don't hold him back, you know, so if he wants to make something crazy, or the guys want to try something, you know, crazy, and we're like, yeah, well, let's try one and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
No, it came out well, and we've got a very, there's a very special one that's going to be ready in a week or two for the 11
I
cities.
cannot wait to see this thing
I can't-
finish.
I'm pretty damn excited about
I
that.
can't wait to see it painted, because I know what it's going to look like, and
Yeah.
it's going to look.
SUP
Yeah.
Racer X1 collab
Wow.
Edge Pro 2.0 ready for 11 city tour. That's going to be the most, I mean, that's one of a kind.
You know, it makes me want to go over there and actually race it for the 5-day tour.
Stretch your
Yeah.
ankle out. Come on. You still got 2 weeks.
I don't think it will like it too much.
No, maybe next year.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
by the sounds of it, that board's going to stay over there because I've got a lot of people that already want to buy it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it'll be waiting for you.
Yeah,
next year.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be
It'd
exciting.
Be kinda cool. Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that you guys are pushing the envelope.
Yeah, and
And it's hollow. It's not just a cool shape.
I
it's
was just going to
hollow.
bring that up, the fact that we've worked on hollow. I mean, it's nothing new. Companies have done it before. But we've worked on the hollow stuff now for over a year, and it's taken quite a lot to sort of get it sorted. But I tell you what, mate, once
good.
you've ridden a hollow board, that's good.
Can't go back.
You can't go back to a traditional foam board.
What's the difference apart from it being a bit lighter?
It's the feeling you get on the water with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's really different.
So even when you're just standing on the water, you'll just feel it.
Yeah. It is completely different. And yeah, I think people are just going to be throwing out on it once they get out there.
Why haven't more brands been doing hollow? Is it just difficult?
I think the cost has a lot to do with it.
Mm.
You got to invest a lot of money into it, obviously, because you got to make molds.
Yeah.
You got to be confident in the shapes. You can't just change the shape every year.
Yeah.
You got to run the molds for so long to, you know, get your money back out of it, that type of thing. So we're not scared of doing that.
Yeah.
First hollow boards actually arrive in Australia very shortly. All the Storm 2.0 hollows and Evo Pro 2.0 hollows come, and they've all sold out.
Yeah? Yeah, what was the one? I took one of the prototypes out down at Tweed the other week for that long paddle we did.
Yep.
And just picking it up, even just like tapping it with your paddle, it's so cool, just the sound.
Yeah.
It's like this big, long bongo drum or something.
Yeah, it really
Sounds
is
neat.
a next level feeling to your paddling. I guess ski guys probably understand it and get it because, you know, they've...
Yeah, the surf ski's always been hollow, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had hollow 1711 Unlimiteds, you know, for a year and a half
Yeah.
already, and to bring it into the 14-foot stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No, it's going to be...
Yeah.
This can be good.
I'm excited because I know exactly what I want to ride for the Euro Tour next year.
So we're putting you down for 11 Cities 2020. Can we call it now?
No, we can't call it now because I don't know. I'm a bit scared of that race.
What do you reckon you come back race? King of the Cut?
King of the Cut, I'm going to go early and just try and get my downwind legs back for sure. It's a long race and it's an ocean race. And
End of November, you'll be racing again.
end of November, I'll be
3
racing
months,
again.
3 months.
Yeah, yeah. And then pretty much going to put my head down and aim for a bunch of Euro Tour races.
Next summer?
I throw a Maui in the middle there and then Hood River
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. You guys like your downwind stuff, huh?
I love my downwind stuff, yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty spoiled here. That run from Snapper to the alley, we got a nice local run here.
We have got a really local, 12 Towers obviously, but
Yeah.
it's always a funky time of year. But generally, yeah, we have a really good run, paddle out the world famous Snapper Rocks and
Yeah.
head your way to Currumbin, or you can go to North Burleigh or Kurrawa, or,
Yeah.
we've got a really good training run here for King of the Cut. So I'm hoping, in a couple of weeks I'll be able to have the okay to go and get in the ocean and get downwinding and
Yeah.
see how it goes.
So tell us about, presume for a minute you were like, your foot's better, or like go back a year before you did the injury. How much do you train?
Me?
Because I've seen it, when I started paddling with you guys, like I really jumped in the deep end when I started paddling. Because like the first week I ever paddled, I was training with you, Jacko, Jake, like Bo, I think Jamie Mitchell, Travis Grant were there a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane. Like the best paddlers in the world train like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I really should be faster by now. I haven't really paddled much lately. But I don't have an excuse because I had the best
I think
teachers
you've
in the world.
paddled far enough lately, mate. Honestly.
True, actually, yeah. We're still recovering from Canada.
What you're doing ain't going fast. It's about just getting to the goddamn finish line.
But how much did you train normally? Would you paddle 5 or 6 days a week still if your foot was better?
Yeah, well, at the moment, I probably paddle session wise, even with this at the moment, I'm paddling 6 sessions a week.
Yeah.
And obviously it's varied. At the moment I can really only max about 10, 12 Ks before my foot gets too sore. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on that and trying to get it longer and longer and stuff. But yeah, generally like hopefully after Christmas time and King of the Cut's done and I can get myself ready for the Euro Tour and that, I'll be paddling every day. And then I have my gym
Yeah.
as well, and I'm pretty hardcore on my altitude machine and stuff as well. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty regimented once I get myself into the routine and have something to aim for. It's been hard since I did this, and especially before the second operation, for about 3 months I sort of knew that was what was going to have to happen. Have the second operation, and I did nothing. Like I honestly lost all motivation. It was a real shitty time. Put on weight, drank beer, ate whatever, because I was just like, well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much screwed for the rest of the year anyway. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself, but as soon as the second operation was done, I flicked a switch and that was it, and had a goal, and yeah, I'm onto it.
Nice work.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one race, what's your favourite over the years? Gorge?
It's the Gorge.
Yeah. Is it just killing you right now? Jacko's over there right now. Just on 2 downwinders today, probably on the foil.
I can't believe the race this year, the conditions they had.
Yeah, it was...
Man, it was just epic. And the whole time, I mean, Jacko's still there now. I think he's had 4 days of no wind.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go drink beer and eat pizza at the...
It's not a bad place. Even when there's no wind, Hood River, I would happily be there without any
just the
downwinds.
trail running, which sort of really sucks for me because even next year I really don't know if I'll be at that stage where I'll be able to run trails.
Yeah.
I'll be maybe the walking trail girl while everyone else runs, but...
Yeah, place is crazy. The trails, the mountain biking. You got Whitewater SUP, and then at the end of the day, there's like 20 breweries and cool little restaurants in town.
I just love it. I just really like... I love home. Like, I love... We do live in a really, really good spot, but for me, going to Hood River and just the people too. Everyone's like super nice and super friendly and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kill a month there.
Yeah.
Which I usually do.
Yeah, we had
but not this year.
We had some good times in Hood River.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
I think Hood River is actually one of those races where I tell Steve this every year. Like Steve Gates from Big Wins that runs the Gorge.
Yeah.
Like you're the luckiest race organizer in the world. You've got just this amazing playground that people want to go there. Like what other race do people go and do the course for fun for weeks on end before the race? Like no one's going to Carolina and doing the graveyard for fun. No one paddles from Molokai to Oahu just for a warm-up. There's very few places you can go where they'll actually do that course and enjoy it.
King of the Cut you do.
Yeah.
Yes, but just for everyone international-wise, it's just the wrong time of year. And
I guess probably any good downwind run, people are going to do it. That's accessible. King of the Cut, Maliko.
But you're 100% right. Like, the Gorge has just got everything. Hell, you can go up and go snowboarding.
Oh, yeah. In summer.
There's
snow on top of Mount Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go and make a snow angel.
I think a few of the boys did that a couple of years ago after they went up to the very top of Mount Hood and there's this little mini glacier
Then you
at the
can
top.
go and jump in the white salmon, which is like some goddamn stupid 6 degrees and...
Oh, yeah, the crazy...
In between your double downwinders and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. I love it. Next year I'm locked in.
You camping out there?
Yeah.
Another month?
I already told Ellen and McRae I'm putting a camper on your front yard.
Yeah.
For like months.
What do you think? What about some of the other races? Because a lot of races, there's some races that are just going through the roof at the moment. Like I look at something like the Gla Gla race. Yeah. It's in the middle of it's in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of winter, it's freezing. The name literally means the name comes from a term in French that means you're freezing cold.
What
it's like 600 people, and it's getting bigger every year.
Yeah.
Why are so many people going to something like that, and then you see some big races that maybe struggle to get numbers?
I think it's the experience, yeah.
Mm.
I think it's definitely, like, that place is special, yeah. It's got something going for it. It's midwinter, it's freezing cold, it's got a challenge to it.
It's one of the bucket list races.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with everyone, but...
Well, I've been there. It's freezing. I did it a few years ago. I paddled it, and I couldn't feel my toes in my booties on the start line. So the entire hour and a half I was paddling, I couldn't feel my toes. I was nervous taking my booties off. I was like, do I still have toes? I haven't felt them for a while.
Maybe I should go do that race. It might help.
Yeah, you get rid of the inflammation there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. It's something it's a destination race. It's got a challenge to it. It's something different. It's out of the norm. I mean, I'd hate to pick it as an example, but you look at PPG and look at from last year.
Yeah, what do you reckon happened? I mean, we know what happened. The company got sold and they were cutting costs, but it was going down anyway.
Each year, progressively, the numbers have been smaller and smaller, and
especially the open. Like it always had a core elite crew, but the open, even that was dropping a bit. But the open race was the obvious one.
Yeah.
Because from the glory days of the BOP, it was all about the open race, and then what do you think? What happened? Did people just get tired of going to?
I've got some thoughts.
I mean, I think they made it too expensive.
I think they made it too expensive, and they made it. I mean, the last time I went, I didn't go last year, but the year before that, I mean, we had a 1 tent there and everything, and
yeah,
I was lining up at the to get your bag and get all that stuff. And a lady was trying to enter her 2 kids just in front of me.
Yeah.
And she said, they're going to enter the junior race. And the guy, gave her back some ungodly figure. And I was like, they're 12 years old. They should be getting in for $20 or, or getting in for free or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it became too elitist as well. The prize money became out of control, and
it was marketed as an elite thing. I remember the very first year it switched over to the PPGs. I mean, the BOP was kind of declining anyway. It's not like the BOP was untouchable, because that year we went to Salt Creek, a lot of the open races pulled out just because it was too gnarly.
Yeah.
So it was actually already in decline even when it was the BOP.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the PPGs took over, I know like a lot of the open guys that I talked to said that they didn't feel like they were part of the event anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think you're right.
And to their credit, the PPGs guys knew that, and they did try and do it, but they also had this weird thing where they had a parent company that wanted costs covered, and they're like, well, you can't lower the price because we've got to get revenue. And then it was that balance. Do you lower it and get more people, or do you raise it and try and get the revenue you need? And in the end, obviously, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, let's not pick on PPGs, there's a lot of events that have struggled just to get the numbers to cover their costs.
Oh, mate, I only look at the Aussie titles.
I mean, that's a...
Roll my eyes.
We could do a whole Paddlecast episode about the Aussie titles. That's a weird, anything related to the ISA gets a bit weird. But that's never been, because they do a community race and and a pro qualifying for ISA race.
Yeah.
But that's never been very well supported. And part of it was in the early days, Surfing Australia just didn't understand, I think. But you've been there, you've competed for Australia.
Yeah, I won gold for Australia by the second Peru.
Oh, that's right, I was there.
Gold for the technical and gold for the distance.
You swept it.
Yeah.
You schooled Olivia, right?
Yeah, had Olivia there.
You beat Olivia both races.
I think Laura Ketglass was there, maybe.
I think she might have got a medal, That's the early days. That was the second one, right?
Second one in Peru,
Did you go the first one as well?
I went the first one and got silver and silver. Brandy Bassey.
Oh, Brandy.
Was
OG.
Gold and gold. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
2000 and...
Fun trip with the Aussie team those 2 years. That was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just come back to the whole thing. Yeah, there's no recognition when you get back.
Yeah. I thought that was very weird because I've been very close with the Australian team. Actually, the year I went, I was working for Surfing Australia. I was doing the press releases, I think.
Yeah.
Forgot I even actually worked for Surfing Australia once. But you guys would win every single year. Like, Australia's won every single year except once in Mexico. I think there's been, 7 of them? So you've won 6 times.
Yep.
But you never really get funding.
No.
You got to pay your own way.
I remember after the first year and the second year I was like, I want to go again, because I wanted to go do it. Everything was out of my own pocket. Yeah. Absolutely everything. And the third year came around and they're like, do you want to go? And I said, you guys need to cover some costs. Oh, we're going to cover accommodation costs.
Yeah, to Nicaragua.
That's
how hard it is to get to Nicaragua from Australia?
That's just not good enough. So, yeah, I don't... Yeah, Aussie titles and things like that. Yeah, that's another whole podcast. But
what do you think? Give us your quick summary of the Olympic saga. Should we even bother with the Olympics at this point?
Mate, I'm like you and everyone else. I really don't. I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I'm not too worried about it. I do think it will sort itself out. And especially also owning a brand as well. You just got to concentrate on doing what we do. And then, whether it's ICF or ISA or, I don't know who, but yeah. And you just I hope that a lot of the athletes and brands and stuff support a lot of the core events that have been around for like Hood River and Gla Gla and, Euro Tour and stuff like that. Because as brands, we all need them to survive.
Yeah.
you know, having ISA and ICF as a brand, yeah.
Can't show your stickers.
You can't even, yeah. I mean, you got to cover them up. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I often wonder if the Olympics is worth the effort. But either way, like that's an endless debate.
It is.
Until it happens.
Yeah.
But I think the obvious thing is that regardless of whether we're a canoe sport or a surfing sport or whatever we are, I mean, we're neither, but whichever one's in charge, I think most of the sport is happening off to it's happening over here. It's not...
Yeah.
The ISA doesn't run the sport. The ICF's never going to run the sport. Like, the whole sport is, you know, it's the Glaglas, it's the Chatterjacks, it's the Euro Tours, it's these events that are happening.
You're 100%, mate. Yep, exactly. And, you know, I think that's what we've got to keep focus on and just do what we do and, yeah, just see how it pans out, I guess. And, yeah, you're always going to get those people that want to go for gold. You can't stop them, you know, especially, you know, young kids that might, I mean, it's not going to be me or anyone else my age. I'm probably the oldest in the elite girls out there, but you know, you got a lot of young girls like, you know, Jade Housen and all those girls that are, you know, only 16, 17 years old, and
you
know, having that feeling if they could go win a gold medal. Wow, I'm sure that's pretty cool.
I was curious after the Pan Ams, which is like the Olympics of the Americas.
Oh yeah, that was just on.
I was talking with the Brazilians, and for them it was just such a big deal.
Yeah, well, I guess that's like our Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, it's basically the Commonwealth Games of the Americas. Yeah, so for them, they were, I mean, Lena, who won the gold, she was all over TV and everything. Like she became a star. Yeah. So for some countries, it's interesting. It's really, it's important and it's very big. Yeah. In other places, doesn't seem to make a difference either way.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. When is it supposed to all come down?
That's the crazy part. Nobody knows what's happening.
We just got to hang tight and see what happens, I guess. And
I know it's still at the Court of Arbitration for Sport is hearing it. It's like somewhere half between a court case and a mediation case. They're basically just going back and forth trying to argue the points. I know there's a round of interviews happening, I believe, in London in October. So it's still dragging on at least towards the end of the year.
Oh, mate. This could drag on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think outside of a few countries, like there are some countries where there's very important funding on the line and it's going to impact the development of the sport. But I think for the most of the community, it's not going to change much.
I don't think it'll change anything here in Australia.
I've never heard from Canoeing Australia, and Surfing Australia doesn't do much. So
actually, Canoeing Australia ran a Aussie Sprint titles.
Oh yeah.
Invited stand-up, maybe 4 years ago. It was in Adelaide.
Is that the one you guys went to?
Yeah. Super professional event, like really impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's your straight line, 250 metre or 500 metre sprint.
Yeah.
With your little cones that come down and you shove your nose in there and off you go.
It's actually, the novelty of it's pretty cool, but that would wear off very quick.
Yeah.
It'd get boring very quick.
Yeah.
I'm curious what they do in China. I'm not sure if I might be going there to commentate. I don't know, but...
Yeah, there's quite a few people going.
Yeah. 50 grand on the line.
Yeah.
60 grand Australian.
Yeah.
It's going to be heaps.
Wish my foot was better.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of cash.
Yeah.
I know, like, pretty much the boss of Starboard told his whole team to go and support it. So
yeah, it'll be
that's half the field right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm keen to see how that one unfolds. So
yeah, I'm just really curious to see what they do with it, because the ICF's never run a major SUP event.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of people like working.
It's standalone stand-up, isn't it?
It's totally standalone.
I
think they're doing like they got 3 events in a row in China, but in different spots. They got like a sprint and maybe a dragon boat or something the week before.
Yeah.
But this one's just gonna be SUP.
Wow.
And it's on like a proper beach.
Yeah, I took a look, to see and read all about it, and
it's gonna be interesting.
Looks like a good spot, and
yeah. And I mean, there's no ISA this year, so
who knows what's going on there? But
that's something. But what other events? What's on your wish list? Would you ever come and do a Glagla or a Chatterjack? Or a Yukon? Would you come do the Yukon?
Oh, the Yukon. Oh, I don't think I'll ever do the Yukon. Nah.
It's downstream. It's not
I know. There's actually quite a few guys. You've inspired quite a few local guys around here.
Oh, yeah?
Like, Ben Tardrew and a
Yeah.
couple other guys here, and they're like, it'd be kind of cool to go do it,
Yeah.
Not to race it, but just as an experience and just to do it. And I think there's been a turn towards that type of racing, 100%.
Yeah.
Like your non-stop 11 cities. There's one coming up here, the Grafton one, the Clarence 100, sorry,
Yeah.
and I think you're coming back for it maybe.
Yeah, the
and
3-day, 100-kilometre race.
there's a whole bunch of people actually training pretty hard for that here. Over 3 days, it's 100 Ks.
Yeah. No, the ultras, that's what fascinates me in the sport. That's where I'm putting all my energy
Yeah.
in terms of my media stuff and just paddling. It's got me motivated to paddle and
Yeah, I
train
think
again.
there's definitely been a shift towards that, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we'll save your spot at the Yukon next year.
yeah,
don't worry.
I'd love to go do Gla Gla, more so
Yeah.
for the fact that the destination to me and everything about it, I really like. Like, it looks amazing, the scenery looks amazing.
Yeah.
Racing in the freezing cold conditions, it's just a bit of a test, I
Yeah.
hate being cold, so for me it would be, I don't know, but
Travis Grant did it a couple of years ago.
He did.
doesn't like being cold and he
Yeah.
doesn't like paddling in flat water.
yeah,
And that was a lot of both.
yeah.
So if he can survive,
And just to be
Yeah,
there,
yes.
I mean, I've seen everyone's photos and footage and everything from all the races there in the last couple of years, and just, you're standing there with your board and it's snowing, and
yeah.
it's kind of cool. Like,
Oh, it's a magic spot.
yeah, I think that would be a bucket list race for me for sure.
Yeah.
So when is that?
End of January.
Oh,
9th of January.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be back in training by then.
Yeah,
You'll be all right.
maybe. Yeah, got a spare dry suit.
Yeah, you're going to need one. Fuck, it's cold. But I think it's really, I think you're right. The races that are going to really take off in the future and be around for the long term, the bucket list races,
Yeah,
the ultra races,
yeah.
and just the destination
Yeah,
races.
not necessarily the races where you're going to go and sprint for 10 kilometres and win a $2,000 check,
Yeah. Because we all know Boothy's getting that check anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was actually the thing. I saw it in actually on the Euro Tour this year. There was a lot of races that it was a Boothy race. He was just
Yeah.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys were like, fuck, we gotta do some different races.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
bumming
he's
me
a
out.
weapon, mate. Like, I mean, I've trained with Boothie. I've done Boothy's program, and yeah, it's full on, and he's just a machine. It's what he does.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah. It's cool, and the sport needs it. The sport needs all type of people like that, Sport needs Boothies. Sports need Bart Deswart, that are going to go
Yeah.
and do some crazy, island crossing and all that type of stuff. We've got to have diversity in the sport because not everyone wants to go and sprint 200 metres or race 10 kilometres,
Yeah, or
It's-
700. I'm surprised more people aren't want to do that. It's crazy.
Don't know why.
Well, how about on the women's side of the sport? Who's been impressing you this year? When you've been watching from the sidelines, who do you reckon's really strong at the moment? Give us a few names.
Oh, sure. Been watching a lot because that's all I've been able to do.
Yeah.
Actually, Fiona's really impressed me this year on the Euro Tour and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the past, obviously being diabetic, and I'm really close with Fiona. I talk to her all the time, and, she's had a really good year this year. So,
Yeah, I think she was
Yeah.
4 from 5 in Europe.
yeah.
And the one that really impressed me was Crete, where she outlasted Sonny in just that gnarly upwind.
Yeah.
It was a nice little downwind at the start, and she pulled away, and then we turned around, and it just
Yes.
went like 35 knot headwind.
Yes.
And she's just,
That's
Fiona's
one I want to
petite,
go and
she's
do.
a little thing.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I was like, no way she's going to be able to outmuscle Sonny in this. Sonny closed the gap a bit, but she couldn't catch her. It's like, fuck, Fiona's strong.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really impressed me this year, and and then again, obviously Hood River, her home ground, she's pretty
4
much
straight.
unbeatable
She's
there.
untouchable.
Yeah, but it's fun trying to catch her.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
you've been one of the closest. I think you, Annabelle, and maybe Annie have probably gotten closer to her over the years.
Yeah, you think you're
But
close.
you're still a couple of minutes
yeah,
back on it.
you think you're close. Like, even when I'm there for like a month and we do training runs and stuff, I think I'm a little bit closer, and come race day, she's in a different league.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just a river rat.
Yeah.
I call her the river rat. She knows that place so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's been interesting in the women's sport because you've been out for a year. Annabelle's been out for, God, has it been more than a year? I think it's been...
Yeah,
so
it's
like
more than a year.
two of the top, I think she's been out for 18 months. She didn't race last year or this year.
I've been speaking to Annabelle a fair bit because we're like injury buddies. So we sort of message each other like, how you going? Or it's a bad day or a good day or whatever. And yeah, she's had a rough trot, but...
Yeah. Is she coming back?
She's coming back.
Yeah?
Yeah. She'll be back. She's doing a lot of skiing and stuff like that. Yeah,
I saw her, she posted the other day. Yeah, she's back in the... she's back on the...
Yeah, she's back
Went back to that mountain where the accident happened.
Yeah, she took it back on. Yeah, she did, yeah.
Yeah.
And she made it. But yeah, when it comes to what she did was next level. Wasn't just what I did,
Yeah.
When you're talking, brain injuries and stuff like that, you got to be real careful. So
Yeah.
she'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
So
Yeah, I think
some good
next year's going to be a really good year. Actually, I do know. I did feel like this year there was a lot of girls. We had Tareen.
Tareen's
she's
been
the
becoming a firefighter.
Firefighter.
She hasn't raced much at all. Sonny's hardly raced as well.
Yeah, Sonny's hardly raced, and I do think 2020 has a good ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting watching like Fiona and probably Olivia's the other one. Fiona and Olivia have really dominated this season.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting when if Sonny kind of comes back full time, if Tareen can race a bit more, and if you and Annabelle come back.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
No, it'll be fun. Yeah, so I'm going to sit down, and pick and choose. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Euro Tour.
We've already locked you in
soon.
for Gla Gla.
Oh,
11 cities and Yukon.
Hang on.
So just throw a few around that.
Nah.
And you'll be right.
Yeah, I'd love to do 11 cities, but it's just something that you've got to really commit to, train to. It just takes up so much time.
Yeah.
And it's just a race you got to focus on, and you really don't want to do anything else after it either because you're wrecked.
It just destroys you.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah. So.
But what's it like? Tell me, I'm curious in the women's scene because I hang out with a lot of the women throughout the year, but I probably spend just a lot more time with the top guys. What's the vibe like? Because I know in the 5 or 6 years ago, it was pretty intense with the top women. Like there was, you guys were,
wasn't it?
Because the guys would always just be gnarly on the water, but they'd leave it on the water. I felt like the women, it didn't stay on the water.
No.
There's a lot of tension off the water. Nothing ever happened, but
yeah,
it felt like there was a lot of rivalries that have kind of mellowed out now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the women still get argy-bargy and what gets said on the water. I mean, I only got to look at
Still
Bilbao last year where I was like second to the can just behind Seychelles, and all of a sudden I had like 3 freaking boards right through my legs and I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything, fell off, and just, there's a lot of argy-bargy and shit that goes on, and I think I swore a lot. There's a lot of B words getting thrown and stuff like that. But that happens on the water, and then it's just fun.
What does happen on the water at a buoy turn? Tell me. If we had a mic, next live stream, I want a mic on the first buoy turn, what would we hear?
Oh, there'd be you'd hear a lot of cursing.
Yeah.
For sure. And, yeah.
So do you telling people to F off? Get the F out of the way? What are you saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of Aussie slang that gets thrown as well, which probably a lot of the Spanish and French riders don't understand, but it feels nice.
Any that you can say on air?
No, not really. It feels nice yelling it out at least anyway, even if they don't know what it means.
Do the French girls ever gang up in French and just talk trash in French?
Oh, see, I wouldn't know what they're saying.
Do you ever hear other languages out there when you're racing in Europe especially?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the compatriots kind of got their secret messages?
Yeah, I mean, everyone speaks their own or swears in their own language. But I wouldn't know what they're saying. I know Dutch. That's about it.
You are Dutch, right? Your family's Dutch.
My whole family's Dutch, yeah. I was born here, but my whole family was born in Holland.
Yeah.
I moved back to Holland.
Van Hoof is your maiden name, right?
Yep.
So 11 cities, come on.
Yeah.
It's your homeland.
It is my homeland, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see
had
you there next
family
year.
come and watch me on the last day
Yeah?
over there that crazy time I went and did it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they watched me limp over the finish line. I looked dead. So, yeah, no, and that's another reason why I would like to go back there is just because, I am Dutch and it'd be, it's just nice to go back.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, Angie, I'm getting a little bit cold.
It's a bit
It's
fresh,
getting a little
isn't
bit
it?
dark, and I just heard my battery's on 10%.
Yep.
So we might have to wrap this up before we don't have any podcast at all.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for taking the time.
No worries.
And I got to say thank you for the last 9 years. You guys have looked after me.
No worries.
I mean, the amount of times I've trained with you guys, I've definitely lost count. You've always got a board waiting for me, and always very supportive of SUP Racer. So
no worries. Awesome.
you.
And hey, mate, enjoy your toy,
Oh yeah, the new Edge.
the new Edge.
Pro 2.0.
Yep.
11 Cities Edition.
All be out soon, I'm guessing. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to show the world
Yeah.
your special
I'm
board.
gonna try and do it justice.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes.
All right.
You're going to love it.
Thanks a lot,
mate.
Ange.
No
Cheers.
worries. Cheers.
It's gonna get warm.
Yeah.
It's fucking freezing.